feed the main trampoline halves, either port or starboard first, makes no difference, into the side tracks. One person should pull towards the track, the other should feed into the track. It's recommended to use a water-soluble lubricant in the tracks or on the trampoline when trying to install trampolines in these tracks. Use Windex or some light liquid soap as best. Do not use an oil or non-water soluble lubricant, as it will remain in the track and possibly cause the trampoline to pull out of the track. Before lacing or tensioning the main trampoline area, we recommend installing the front trampoline. Do the same process as doing the main trampoline. Feed the trampoline into the side tracks. This takes a little bit more care, and you must work in unison as the trampoline is quite tight. Carefully feed the trampoline into the slots. In unison, it's best to work on one side and then the other. Repeat the process as you move the trampoline further and further into the track. While you move it just a few inches forward, switch to the opposite side and do the same. One person should feed the trampoline while the other person pulls the trampoline into the track. Be very cautious and avoid wedging the trampoline rope into the track. This can damage the trampoline. If the forward trampoline is too tight, you can sit or lay down on the trampoline. Lightly bounce on the trampoline material to stretch it just slightly to make it easier to install. As you get near the end of the track, it's possible to use the lacing line as purchased. Want 2 or 3 to 1 purchase maximum to help you pull the trampoline forward. Continue to feed the trampoline at the other end of the track. Once the trampoline is all the way forward, you can install the lacing rod. Slide the lacing rod into the pocket in the front part of the trampoline. To begin lacing the forward trampoline, tie the lacing line to the eye strap at the end of the bow spreader bar. Pass the line aft to the grommet in the corner of the trampoline, back to the eye strap in the bow spreader bar. Continue across the trampoline as shown. Once the forward tramp is completely laced and tensioned, you can begin lacing the main trampoline area. Begin at the front of the trampoline near the mast step ball. Begin at the grommet on the starboard side of the trampoline with a bowline. Pass it to the port side, down through the grommet, and down through the extra lacing flap grommet. Proceed as shown. Continue lacing towards the aft of the trampoline as far as the lacing line will go. The lacing line will extend further once the trampoline is laced tightly. Pass the lacing rod through the trampoline pocket at the rear of the trampoline. Once the lacing rod is completely inserted, tuck the trampoline below the rear crossbar. Tie the aft lacing line to the port side outboard grommet. This should be tied with a bowline that is loose enough that it goes all the way around the pocket that the lacing rod passes through. Begin the lacing by pulling the lacing line below the rear crossbar. Pull with some tension to pull the trampoline in the track tight. Pull the lacing line up and over the top of the first lacing nub and across to the next one to the right. Down to the trampoline and around the lacing rod, back up to that same lacing nub and across to the next one, and continue as shown. Repeat the process on the starboard side of the boat, lacing the trampoline from the starboard hull towards the center. Continue until you reach the center and tie off as shown. Return to the outboard ends of the lacing line and now tension the trampoline fully, pulling up on the lacing line, up and over the nubs. Then the next one, pull it up to tension the trampoline towards the aft of the boat. Once the rear lacing lines are completely tensioned and tied off, begin to tension the main trampoline lacing line down the center line of the boat. Beginning at the front, tension each line between each grommet area. Continue aft towards the rear of the boat. It may be easier to tension this line by laying beneath the boat below the trampoline area. Place one foot against the hull and pull the line towards the opposite side. When the lacing lines are completely tensioned and tied off, tuck the lacing flap underneath the opposite side's trampoline and lacing line junction as shown. Complete mast assembly includes sliding the comtip section into the aluminum mast section. These items should be bonded together with an epoxy material that's provided with your boat. Proper bonding instructions are included in the printed assembly manual. Attach the mast float to the masthead fittings. It may be necessary to loosen the bolts that attach these fittings to the masthead to properly attach the screws into the float. Be sure that the blunt end of the float is forward on the mast. To complete the initial assembly of your Getaway, pass the main halyard line through the masthead. Be sure that the shackle is on the luff track side of the mast. Tie both ends off at a cleat at the base of the mast. You're now finished with the initial assembly of the Hobie Getaway from the box. It is now ready to be placed on a trailer or to continue with the first section of this video.